Cagematch.net. From numeric ratings and written reviews of shows, wrestlers, and companies to the cataloging of seemingly every match out there, the site lives up to the title of the Internet Wrestling Database. While I don't think the platform is perfect and is susceptible to people overrating or underrating things for what they perceive to be the benefit of their company, it remains a mainstay for all hardcore professional wrestling fans. In this new series on the channel, I'm going to go through the top 100 rated matches on Cagematch and talk about the match, the participants, the community's reaction, as well as the reaction of prominent figures in the community. Welcome to the Cagematch Chronicles. In this first episode, I'll be covering Will Ospreay vs. Walter for the over-the-top wrestling world title at OTT's 4th anniversary show on October 13th, 2018. At this point in their careers, both Will Ospreay and Walter are well established. Will Ospreay is a mainstay in New Japan Pro Wrestling, is a former Best of the Super Juniors winner, and is associating with guys like Tsuchika Okada, Tomohiro Ishii, and just a few months after this match would defeat Kota Ibushi for the Never Openweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom in an incredible match. This match is famous for Ospreay debuting the Hidden Blade, a finisher that at the time felt like seeing a Tiger Driver 91, given the way it was delivered and sold. This would also be the last Wrestle Kingdom for Kenny Omega as a New Japan contracted wrestler, so this is truly a pivotal period in Ospreay's career. He was on the precipice of being the guy, so to speak. Walter, while still very well established, was by no means at the stage that Ospreay was at this point. He was regularly appearing in super indies like PWG, Rev Pro, Progress, and WXW, but was not regularly appearing in a major promotion like New Japan. But much like Ospreay, just a few months after this match, he would take a big step in his career by beginning his regular appearances in NXT UK. While a lot of us have negative thoughts about this show, and rightfully so, it was objectively the biggest break he had had to this point in his career. To the hardcore audience though, Walter was known as one of the best wrestlers in the world, putting on incredible matches versus guys like ZSJ and Tyler Bate in Progress, Darby Allin in Evolve, and a man that he's done the dance with plenty of times, Ilya Dragunov in WXW. As I mentioned before, soon after Ospreay vs. Walter, Walter would make his way to the WWE and become a regular on NXT UK. This was woven into the story of the match leading up to it. In a brilliant promo package on OTT's YouTube channel, Will Ospreay says that Walter doesn't see the OTT Championship as anything special. He sees it as a bargaining chip to get a contract with the WWE. Ospreay wants to take the OTT World title from Walter so he can walk down the ramp at Wrestle Kingdom 13 against Kota Ibushi with the title around his waist, representing a company in his home region, elevating and showcasing it on one of the grandest stages in professional wrestling. This promo package, while sort of hokey, absolutely rules. As Walter's delivering his "I'm the best everywhere I go" promo, they're editing him onto screens in like North Korea and China as Chinese and North Korean troops march along the streets and into Times Square. Just proper foreign heel stuff that popped me for the simple fact that it is so over the top. I have absolutely no clue why they went with those countries to broadcast this promo, but pop nonetheless. Ospreay comes off as a proper white meat babyface that truly wants what is best for the company, and that it absolutely pays off when it comes time for the match. And speaking of, let's get into the actual contents of the match, but very quickly before that, this match is available for free on OTT's YouTube channel, so please, even though I will be showcasing a few clips and pictures in this video is not a substitute for actually watching the match, so please go support. I would say this is the peak of elevated Will Ospreay, so to speak. He's putting on some weight to become that heavyweight, high-flare admixture that he is today, but he's still able to do the crazy shit he would do around this time and get the air that he used to get on shooting star presses and all that stuff. It's still incredible when he does it today, but around this time, he was truly able to get some ridiculous air on it. I would say the same for Walter right now, but in a different way. This is the peak of Walter, if that makes any sense. The chubby, super heavyweight version of himself is at its absolute peak here. Don't get me wrong, I think Gunther is a better wrestler than Walter here. Obviously, I'm talking about them in two different versions of the same guy, but Walter is thriving at this point in his career. Immediately, the crowd is all in on Ospreay. Huge pop as he enters the ring, the crowd is singing his name, and as Walter enters the ring, there's a mix of singing Symphony No. 9 combined with boos and middle fingers from the crowd. As the music stops, the boos take over, and "fuck 'em up" Ospreay chants break out. The crowd is ready for the ring general to be cut down. The match begins with the feeling out process. Ospreay attempts a single-legged shoot but is quickly shut down. Ospreay is caught once again, but he escapes with heel kicks to Walter's head. For the third time, Ospreay is caught as he goes for his single-leg shoot, is lifted over the top rope with ease by Walter, and instead of hitting him with a signature chop, gives Will a simple, patronizing pat on the head. As Ospreay gets into the ring, he strikes Walter with a forearm, but Walter answers back with a brutal elbow, and he begins clubbing and stomping Ospreay. Walter shoots Ospreay to the ropes and fucking leapfrogs him, which is objectively beast. As Walter goes for a big boot, Ospreay reverses, takes Walter down, and in a panic, begins hitting Walter with anything he can. Walter stumbles into the corner, and as Ospreay sprints towards him, he lifts him over the top rope. Ospreay goes for a springboard and is instantly cut down. This is when the story of the match becomes clear. Ospreay continues to catch Walter lacking, finds his chance to strike with quick offense, but is eventually taken down by the giant of a man that is Walter. I wanted to go in depth with the beginning of the match there because it sets the stage well for the story being told here. As the match goes on, Ospreay is determined. He takes advantage of being shot towards the ropes and hits Walter with his signature springboard Pele kick thing. He gets some strikes in, successfully hits a toe pin to the outside, but as he goes for the Os cutter, soon after, he's met with the first Walter chop of the match. This begins the dominance. For a majority of this match, Walter is in control. Ospreay gets strikes in, but it's never enough. There's an awesome spot where Will tries to fire up, and Walter just picks him up, lays him over the top rope, and kills him with a chop, and then Walter stretches him over the top turnbuckle with his foot on Ospreay's chin. It rules. Eventually though, Will finds his footing again. Another Os cutter attempt is countered. After a flurry of offense, Ospreay finds his way to the top rope for a shooting star press attempt, but that is rolled out of by Walter, and he hits a double drop kick that flips Ospreay directly onto his neck. Easily one of the most brutal bumps of the match. Chop after chop, strike after strike, Walter is breaking Ospreay down. Multiple failed fire-up spots later lands the two outside of the ring, and Walter delivers a powerbomb onto the stage. He attempts a second off of the stage, but it's countered, and Ospreay is able to land a successful dive onto Walter off of the stage. There's a great visual here as Walter is moving some steel steps before the powerbomb. The crowd immediately disperses. On a smaller scale, obviously, this really gave him that Stan Hansen aura. It looked so cool. As Ospreay attempts multiple shooting star presses, he's met with the feet of Walter and a sleeper hold. This is something they return to multiple times during the closing stretch. Ospreay attempts a Hurricane Rana off the top rope, but it's countered with a top rope powerbomb, and Walter immediately grabs the hold again. This spot is kind of goofy to me. The ref starts to pick up Ospreay's hand for the classic spot to see if he's out or whatever, but the whole time Ospreay's eyes are just wide open. It looked kind of dumb to me, but eventually he pops out of it. As he gets out of it, Walter delivers a Gonzo bomb, and during the pin, Ospreay gets his foot on the ropes, but the ref doesn't see it. Walter grabs his championship and begins parading it around the ring. His music even hits, but the ref reverses the decision to a huge pop. After a ref bump, Ospreay finds himself holding the title in his hands, drops it, finally hits a successful Os cutter for a great near fall. Ospreay once again attempts his quick offense just to be cut down multiple times. After some great near falls, Ospreay gets caught on the top rope, clotheslined off. Walter lands his big splash for the win. Analyzing this match from a 2023 perspective, the match was fun. The crowd added a lot to this match that otherwise would have made it a good but not great watch. The near falls during the finishing stretch were great, but I feel like the match relied a bit too much on Ospreay's fighting spirit spots, and it felt unearned at times. The formula became somewhat obvious at a certain point, and it was done 2 to 3 times too many for me. The work rate was fantastic though, there's no doubt about it. The strikes were hard hitting, Walter's chops were gruesome as always. Given that though, the finish was a tad bit lackluster for me. To see Ospreay doing all these crazy corkscrews and dives off the stage, and Walter hitting all these brutal chops and big boots, just for Ospreay to lose to a big splash felt kind of meh for me. Overall, my rating for this match is 4.5 stars. Is this match top 100 all time? Absolutely not. Sorry. No. The community's reaction to this match at the time was overwhelmingly positive. Multiple fans saying this was their match of the year, that it was a 5-star match, and even that it was Ospreay's best match of his career at the time. It's regularly mentioned across subreddits as one of the best matches of both men's career, even now that they both surpassed themselves in terms of quality during this era. It currently sits at 9.44 on Cagematch. Wrestling Observer praised the match for its standout spots and ability to pull the crowd in during the false finishes, and awarded the match 4 3/4. Thank you all for watching this video if you've made it this far. This first episode is something I really enjoyed making, even if the work was a lot to go through. So again, thank you for watching. I hope to have a schedule for these videos as I get used to making them. So once I have that together, I'll let you all know. I updated my @ on both Instagram and Twitter, so if you aren't following me there yet, it's Brainbuster with 3 R's. Let me know what you think of this video in the comments. I'm open to all feedback. Later.